Hello everyone, I am Dr. Himani Gupta and I am starting with community medicine, showing you the glimpse of INICET, which will be the eye opener for you all. Okay, so for the NEET PG, you really need to concise everything for the last moment reason, but for INICET, you have to do some kind of active effort for each topic. Okay, so I am covering screening, biostats, and epidemiology, the hypothesis part, and I will be showing what kind of active effort you really need to make. Okay, so there are many 2 by 2 tables when you see these three chapters. Okay, and unnecessarily we tend to make connections in between these tables, but they are completely different and they have to be read differently. So I have made the four tables, one of the hypothesis, second of the screening, and the bottom two of case control and cohort side by side. Okay, so when we see hypothesis table and the screening table, so the basic difference you have to note, the location of false positivity is completely different in the screening. In the screening it is in the right upper quadrant, whereas in the hypothesis it is in the left lower quadrant. So similarly you can see that location of false negativity, it is completely different when we talk about hypothesis and screening. So you don't really have to mix them up. Okay, also note the location where it is written RCT and reality and screening and diagnostic. Okay, you cannot interchange them. Okay, you cannot interchange them. Secondly, note when we talk about this hypothesis table, there is HO and HA in the reality. In the exam, they really don't tell you whether they are talking about HO or HA in the RCT. They just give you the p value and you have to interpret that this p value, if it is less than alpha we usually take 0.05. So if the p value given is less than alpha, then they are talking about HA, and if they show you the p value more than alpha, that is 0.06 for suppose, then they means they are talking about HO in the reality. Now we see the connections. Connection is vertical here. Confidence plus alpha, there are different names now. False positivity, we can call it alpha or type 1 error, and for the false negative there are two another terms, that is beta and type 2 error, and there are no such terms in the screening table. So confidence plus type 1 error is 1, and the sum up of type 2 error plus power is also 1. So there are vertical relation. Keep that in the mind, because when we come to case control and cohort, in the cohort table, the formula which we write is in the horizontal direction, that is the incidence of exposed, we write a upon a plus b, and incidence is non-exposed is c upon c plus d. So the relation here we write is horizontal, whereas in the hypothesis it is vertical, and similarly in the case control it is vertical. That is when we calculate the odds ratio, we take a by c upon b by d. So here the relation is vertical. So you don't have to mix them up because they are completely different. And when we talk about the screening table, there are many relations, horizontal and vertical, for calculating sensitivity, specificity, positive predictive value and negative predictive value. So you have to know the clear demarcation of the differences between these tables and the relation. What is the relation? The relationship is of association. Okay, so association, the interpretation of odds ratio and relative risk is completely same, and if it is more than 1, that means positive association, less than 1 is negative association, and equals to 1 is no association. And when we look this cohort table, there is one another similar table which we call of the RCT table. See, RCT, when we compare RCT with the reality, it becomes hypothesis. Okay, it becomes hypothesis. But when we look this RCT separately, it itself has one 2 by 2 table. So don't interlink them, this table also. So there is also horizontal relation, that is the percentage of success, a upon a plus b, exactly same as what we have seen in the cohort. In cohort we see the development of disease, whereas in the RCT we usually see the response of treatment. So we calculate the percentage in terms of success. It could be the failure also. Here we calculate relative risk and attributable risk. AR is attributable risk, but here we calculate ARR. ARR is absolute risk reduction. Okay, and NNT. So you have to know the clear demarcation between these two tables. Now the second eye opener is accountability. How much one table accounts to you? Okay, I can show you the 6 different INICET question from this single table. Okay, question 1, the interpretation of p value, whether the less than alpha is HA and more than alpha is HO. The question number 2 is the different names of this false negative and false positive, like beta and 2 is related to false negative, and alpha and 1 type 1 error is related to false positive. You cannot interlink them. There is no absolute relation between this false negative and false positive. In the exam they give different statement based questions where they unnecessarily correlate this type 1 and type 2 error, or they talk about type 1 error and they relate them with the power. There is absolutely no relation. You can definitely rule out that option. Only the type 1 error is equal to 1 minus confidence. Okay, so they are related vertically, therefore I am emphasizing this vertical and horizontal things. Okay, the question number 3 is exactly same what I told now. Vertical relation, confidence is 1 minus type 1 error and power is 1 minus type 2 error. Question number 3 and 4. Now coming to question number 5, they ask about the intersection relation. Like they will say in the RCT they found p value of 0.04. 0.04 means p less than alpha. So in the RCT they are talking about HA, and in reality they tell you there is no significant difference, so it means they are talking about HO. So how they are related, what they are talking about, HA in the RCT and HO in reality, it means they are talking about type 1 error. So this way you have to interpret them. Now the question number 6, they talk about the interpretation of p value. Whenever they write the term by chance is related to RCT and not the reality. It happens by chance. So how they define this false positivity or the type 1 error? They say by chance they found some differences in the RCT whereas there were no significant difference in the reality. So this is how they define type 1 error, and they give you the different sentences. Another eye opener is common possible mistake which everybody tend to make, but how will you know about that? By actively searching for it. You will not get anything by just reading subject to subject. You have to actively search for the common possible mistake, which will be possible only after solving questions. So the p is p value when we talk about hypothesis, whereas the p represents prevalence in the Gaussian curve. Prevalence we can also write in the term of this point, decimal point. 0.08 means 80% prevalence, and p value also we write in the terms of this decimal. So you don't have to really confuse between these two. In the hypothesis table we use the term confidence. Okay, when confidence is 1 minus type 1 error, so type 1 error when decreases then the confidence increases. But in the Gaussian curve there is confidence level, and confidence level increases when we cover more and more standard deviation. So as the deviation increases, confidence level increases, and this confidence is not same as the confidence of this hypothesis. They are completely different. So these are just confusers in the mind which you have to be very clear about. Okay, so when the deviation increases, this confidence level increases in the Gaussian curve, whereas in the hypothesis as the type 1 error decreases, confidence level increases. They are inversely related. And when we talk about the sample size, see, when you study more and more population for the Gaussian curve, you will get less error, whereas in the hypothesis sample size is directly related to type 2 error. Okay, now another thing, this p value, less than 0.05 is significant and more than 0.05 is not significant. So interpretation of this 0.06 is not non-significant. But when we talk about odds ratio, it is completely different. In the odds ratio, less than 1 is negative association. So what does this 0.06 in the odds ratio mean to you? It means negative association. But this 0.06 is single term. When we use them as a range, it becomes confidence estimate. It is completely different from this two confidence which we have read. Okay, so 0.08 to 2.2, this is range of odds ratio. When we take the midpoint, it is touching somewhere, it is touching 1, which is null value, so it is not significant. So the value of 1 is not significant in odds ratio, whereas the significance is, the definition of significance is completely different when we talk about the p value. So you have different interpretation of single value in this three different situations. So these are common confusion which you have to be very clear about. Okay, now coming to test of association and strength of association. Test of association is given by statistical test, whereas the strength of association is given by odds ratio and relative risk. Okay, so again these two are completely different. So statistical test we talk about is quantitative and qualitative. So quantitative is related to t test. Okay, and qualitative is related to chi-square test. Focus on the pronunciation, right? And for Fisher exact, if in the 2 by 2 table any value is less than 5, then we mark Fisher exact. Okay, so this is less than 5 and not more than 5, therefore I have made this awareness box. I call it awareness box. You have to be aware that it is less than 5. Now another thing, you have to be very careful while reading the statements in PSM specifically. Okay, you can have more or less false positivity even with the constant sensitive test, depending upon the prevalence, whether they are talking about diseases in the rare prevalent area or in the more prevalent area. You can have more or less false positivity with the constant sensitivity, but when the prevalence is constant, you again can have less or more false positivity, but this time sensitivity of two different tests differs when the prevalence is constant. So these are the statements which you have to be aware of. Okay, so less of false positivity does not really mean that sensitivity is always less. You can have even constant sensitivity with less false positivity depending upon the prevalence of diseases. Okay, so you have to make this kind of awareness things, and they are not inversely related, means decrease in the false positivity will not lead to less sensitivity of the test, whereas it is only true in this direction. Less sensitivity test can have less false positivity in the constant prevalence area. So these are the topics. You have to make sure that you make questions using hashtag AIMS or INICET from any question bank of these three areas, and you have to note the interlinked topic, and you don't have to make unnecessarily connections in between the topic, and you have to know your common mistakes and few tricks to remember. Thank you, and let's meet again with another topic of PSM. Okay.